Anyways, the point of this video is I want to introduce and talk about how it is that we compare the contents of two string objects. So we will have two strings. One of them I will call the mystery word, and another string that the user is going to type in. And based on whether or not the user guesses the mystery word, we'll do one thing or we'll do another thing if they don't guess it correctly. So I'm going to open this project up, and you can see I've done most of the things that I normally do, right? We've eliminated the all the basic stuff that BlueJ puts in by default, and I've got a very simple project here with a main method, and I've imported the scanner class as well, because we're going to use that for the user input. In fact, let's go ahead and start with that. I'm going to make an instance of the scanner class, so I'm going to type scanner, and I'm going to call my scanner scan it, because it's going to scan the word that the user types. Completely arbitrary, you can pick any name that you want. I'm just picking scan it. Now that scan it will equal a new member of the scanner class, and I will pass to it the one parameter system.in. Now the syntax of that, it seems like that's kind of arbitrary, but what's nice about it is that's a pattern for creating any object in Java. And the pattern is, the first thing you see here is scanner, that's what you're creating, and then the name that you're going to give this, the reference variable. So what kind of thing it can point at, what kind of thing it can refer to, and then the name you're going to use to refer to it. And then right here, it creates a new one of those things. It invokes the constructor, which we haven't talked about yet, on that object. It creates some, it runs some code that makes one of them, and that code may need some parameters. In this case, it needs system.in, so we pass it that parameter. And if I want to make a string object, I would follow that exact same pattern. So I could say string string. I'm going to make a string, and I'm going to call this string mystery, mystery. This is going to be the string that holds the mystery word. It's going to be a new string, and I'm going to pass it the sequence of characters lowercase WOLF. So there is my mystery word. Now that I have my mystery word, I want to basically ask the user to try and guess the mystery word. So I'm going to do a prompt to the user using the println statement. Guess the mystery word. Now that I've prompted them, I'm going to go ahead and use the scanner, my scanner called scanit, to get the mystery word. So I'm going to capture the result of scanit with a string. So I'm going to say string, and I'm going to call this string guess, Guess, and it's going to equal whatever the scan it dot next line method returns. So this next line method basically looks at whatever someone types and then press enters, and it's going to grab that from the terminal window and store that string into the guess. So now I've got my scanner, I've got my mystery word, and I've prompted my user, and I've got the guess. So now this whole thing is going to hinges upon how do I compare mystery with guess? How do I compare those two strings? Well, I know I'm going to use an if statement, right? And the basic pattern for an if statement is we're going to have if a boolean, that's the thing that'll go in those parentheses, and this is what we will do. This is what we'll do if it's true, and then else we'll do the following if it is false. So I guess if true, I guess I'm going to take that to mean if they get the word right, right? If mystery is the same thing as guess, we'll do this. You win. That's simple. And if they don't guess the mystery word, try again. All right. So the problem is how do we write this Boolean that compares these two? Well, if based on what we've done with primitives so far, based on what we've done with integers, doubles, and Booleans, those are the three primitives that we're really concerned with for this course. Based on that, we might be tempted to write the following: MISTRY, if mystery is the same as the guess. And in fact, I'm going to compile that. And it compiled. And I'm going to run that too. So it says guess the mystery word. So I'm going to go ahead and type a guess in. I'm going to say the mystery word is dog. It says try again. Okay. Well, that worked, right? But watch what happens when I type, and you can see right here, I've typed that the mystery word should be WOLF, all lowercase. Watch what happens when I type that, WOLF. It says, try again. Well, now wait a minute, isn't mystery the same as guess? I typed in wolf from a guess, and I typed in mystery. The problem is that we're actually not comparing the characters in the string object. What we're doing is we're asking, are they the same string object? Literally, are they pointing to the same object? Are they, and the word is aliases, are they aliases of each other? Are they the same object just by different names? And they're not aliases. You can see I've got two different strings. One's called mystery, it's a new string, and the other one's called guess, and it was a string returned by the scanit next line command. So if I want to compare the contents of strings, this isn't going to work. In fact, if I want to compare most objects, equal equals doesn't work. All that does is it tells me if those objects are aliases of each other. Equals equals, two equal symbols is great for comparing primitives, but not for objects. So what we want to do is the string class actually has a method called equals, QUALS. And what I'm doing here is I'm asking the string object mystery to invoke its equals command, and I want it to compare itself with the parameter I send it, which is the string guess. And the way that the string comparison, the string.equals method works is if they have the exact same characters in the same orders, it will return true. In other words, this if, everything in the parentheses will become a Boolean. It'll be either true or false. So let's go ahead and compile that. And now that that's compiled, I'm going to run it. And we've already seen it not working, right? I can say foothill. Yeah, didn't work. I could probably type a lot of things that won't work, but if I type lowercase WOLF, I can see it says you win. So at this point, we can see, yeah, mystery, a string, dot equals a guess. We're comparing a string with another string, and that's exactly what we want to do. And whenever the strings contain the exact same characters in the same order, and they're all the same case, upper or lowercase, when everything matches, this dot equals method is going to return true. If they don't match, it won't return true.
So this is a new feature I'm introducing in my mix. After I go through some demo code and talk about things, I want to have like a summary of what I think is the central point, the big idea for this little brief video. And so here's our summary, right? First of all, if we need to compare the characters in two strings, we do not use the comparison operator equal equal, right? We only use equal equal if we're comparing two primitive types, or if we want to know if two objects, if objects are aliases of each other. You don't know what that means. We don't even really know what objects are yet, but stay tuned, we'll learn more about that. If we want to compare two strings, A and B, we use the dot equals method of the string class. And here's how we do that. We basically say A and then dot equals, and then in the argument we pass, we put the other string, right? So A dot equals B. That will be true if A and B contain the same characters in the same order. Otherwise, it'll be false. So basically, A dot equals B becomes a Boolean. It becomes true or false. So we could use that in an if statement where a Boolean is required. And that is the end of the summary for this brief lesson on how do we compare strings.